eventually, in a couple of years. Well, this is my Christmas show, I guess. I can't think of a better place to do a... I mean, Santa Claus is even in the audience. I saw his stomach fall out on the floor not too long ago, but I didn't say anything. Other people saw it too, but they didn't say anything because it's the season. And there is no reason to the season. There was rhyme this time. There is no reason to the season. I find myself starting out with, ooh, his stomach is lit up. How in the world does he do that? I almost said how in the hell, but I don't want to use language like that on stage. So I will not say hell or damn or anything like that, because this is the reason to be, this is the season, sorry, this is the season to be not only anatomically correct, but grammatically pristine. And I always loved playing in shopping malls. I'm from California originally. I was born in Palo Alto, that's right, Palo Alto. I used to call it Fallow Alto. But that was back in those days. I'm sure it still is Palo Alto. It was the West Coast offices of the Wall Street Journal that gave us some idea. Or the Wall Street Urinal, as a friend of mine refers to it. And I used to get really outrageously stoned at Stanford University and wander around and hallucinate on all those big, beautiful trees and the artwork in that fantastic Spanish slavery-built Catholic chapel thing that they've got there. Stanford is a beautiful place. And I was raised in San Jose, and I spent a lot of time in the early, investigatory stages of the shopping mall. Because they had to try them out on human beings, and they tried them out on us. It isn't really a California invention. We were just the population that it was tried on, the experimental population. So I've always had a soft spot in my heart for shopping malls. And this Soul Food Books, for those of you that are looking on the web, you can't tell. You just see some guy sitting on a stage with a weird hat on and stuff, kind of talking about the season of no reason and stuff like that. But you don't know that he is playing in a shopping mall. You were watching somebody playing in a shopping mall. And the fact that Soul Food Books is in a shopping mall is fundamentally rebellious. Shopping malls gave us a lot of trouble back in those days. And with any luck, they'll give us trouble now. I find myself starting with this song over and over again the last month or so I'm going to do it now. I love this song. Written by my old friend Stephen Jesse Bernstein. It goes like this. Child is practicing their music. Could be a trumpet, but it's too sloppy to be sure. Like someone's trying to get out of that building with their feet nailed to the floor. And it's a beautiful thing, yes it is. It's a thing that gives me hope to live. Somebody is looking for their voice. Supper on a stone. Now it's a sound you can hear out on the street, humming and a tapping at a beat, like someone whose life gives no reason, making up a reason of their own. And it's a beautiful thing, yes it is. It's a thing that gives me hope. Somebody is looking for their voice through an open window with their supper on a stone. boxing in a doorway. With his eyes closed, I know he's gonna win. He's kicking the trash out of the way. He goes down, but he always comes back up again. And it's a beautiful thing, yes it is. It's the thing that gives me hope to live. Somebody is looking for their voice through an open window with their supper on the stove. And a woman is standing at the bus stop. She is yelling that the city is on fire. The cops come looking clumsy and disgusted. Everything they tell her, she says, they are a liar. And it's a beautiful thing, yes it is. It's the thing that gives me hope to live. Somebody is looking for their voice through an open window with their supper on the stove. Everybody is stuck inside the buildings. The ruins that we leave may last forever. And though everything we say may be forgotten, there's something that connects us like a river. And it's a beautiful thing, yes it is. It's the thing that gives me hope to live. Somebody is looking for their voice through an open window with their supper on the stove. And it's a beautiful thing, yes it is. It's the thing that gives me hope to live. Somebody is looking for their voice through an open window with their supper on the stove. Somebody is looking for their voice through an open window with their supper on the stove. Santa brought me a lump of coal. You should see it. It's really nice. It's not a lump. It's like nature's carving is what it is. It looks like a ship. It looks like a boat. It looks like a rowboat. How did you think of that? That's just beautiful. He really does think of everything. This song, I started writing this song at I did the Puget Sound Guitar Workshop last, when in the world was that? July, I think. August or something. I think it went from July into August. I don't remember. It was last summer sometime. And I started writing this song out there for an old buddy of mine that passed away not too long ago. You know, we all do that. And I started writing songs about people that died, and they were sad songs, you know, boo-hooing and all that kind of stuff. And then after a while, it's like, you know, I'm going to do that. Everybody I know is going to do that. So what's this crying stuff that we do? Why don't we celebrate it or kind of do a different sort of a thing on it? So, yeah, so they have kind of a different take when I do them these days. And this is more of a celebratory, I guess. The guy's name is Jesse Toro. Nobody in here would remember him, I'm sure. A long time ago. He was the bouncer at the Fresh Air Tavern when I played there up in Broadway and Pike and Capitol Hill way back in 71, 72, 73. Jesse stood about 5'4", but he was a Golden Gloves boxer, so he knew how to take care of himself. His father was a boxing promoter. He had an older brother named Joe, who was the bouncer when I showed up the first time, and then Joe walked up to me one night and said, "Hey, Jimmy, I want you to sing a song for my little brother Jesse. Jesse Toro, just like a bull, Toro." I said, "Okay, he's here tonight. Sing a song for him." Okay, so I went up and I made up the song about Jesse Torres and a friend of mine. I hadn't seen him for a very long time, like that, you know. And I went around passing my hat afterwards because that's what I did in those days. And I got around the corner of the room, and this little guy stands up, and he's wearing a red, white, and blue American flag leather vest with fringe on it. And he leans into me, and he says, "I'm Jesse Toro. How do you know me?" And I said, "I've known you for years. You just didn't know I knew you." It's exactly what I said. And he looked at me, you know, and he sat back down. And ever since that night, he treated me like we were old friends. It was very, very cool. Jesse belonged to a little motorcycle gang called the Club, called the Third Rail. There were 16 members. They didn't do a heck of a lot. So he would hang out with this other little club called the Iron Lords, and they would have gatherings out in Burien at the Burien Log Hall, and I would go out there and play at the gatherings at the Burien Log Hall and stumble home afterwards or sleep over at Jesse's house. Jesse had about, I don't know, 5 sisters and 5 brothers, something like that. It was a big family. So I wrote this for him. A better friend you never had. Big brother, dear old dad. Man about town. Wheels rolling round. Back in the old fresh air. Seems like everybody was there. Harvey Mandel and Sugar King. Now it'll never be the same. There he is. And there he goes. There he is. And there he goes. You had a mean right swing. In and out of the ring. For the ones you love. For the golden glove. And on a crosstown trail. Hanging around with a third rail. And all the boys in blue sure like to get their hands on you. There he is, and there he goes. There he is, and there he goes. I used to sleep on the couch with your scooter on the floor. I guess I won't be doing that anymore. Everything smelled like dogs and motor oil. It was an oasis in the world of turmoil. Get a job downtown. Yeah, you work on the longshore, just like your brother before. Making one last fling. Oh, the songs we could sing, all about you and John. But now those days are long gone. There he is, and there he goes. There he is. Girls stand up on the sidelines and they cry. Even the Iron Man gets a tear in his eye. So raise your glass and drink a toast to whoever it is that you love the most. Now I'm on my way. Yeah, every step is a brand new day. Life is good. It's going by just like it should. Yes, in this old town, sure got some stories to hold it down. And I know they broke the mold when this story got told. I know they broke the mold when this story got told. tuning here. This song is for Clint. We were talking about this earlier on. Clint doesn't always come down when I play. I think he's afraid that I'll lower the price of property or something like that. The books go on sale when Jim Page plays because they ain't worth as much. Santa shows up though. That's right. I will not celebrate Columbus. No, I will turn the other way. No, I will not celebrate Columbus. There is no honor on that day. On that day when the brave sea captain, so they say, set out to prove that the world was round. Yeah, but really he was looking out for gold and he would kill for it. All for the sake of the European crown. And they found a gentle people on the shoreline. Gentle people, they could turn them into slaves. And they cut those people down just as fast as they could. They didn't even give them time to dig their own graves. And I will not celebrate Columbus. No, I will not give honor to his name. I will not celebrate Columbus. It is a day of infamy and shame. And the floodgates were open and history rolled. And the numbers were uncountable, the numbers were extreme. And every dead one died for a ox bell full of gold, discarded in the margins of the American dream. And I know it was a long time ago. I know it's hard to remember, but it's harder still to forget. Living in the shadows of a Holocaust. Maybe someday we'll organize and rise to be a threat. But I will not celebrate Columbus. Give honor to a killer and a thief. I will not celebrate Columbus. I will not participate in absurdities' belief. And there's a statue out by City Hall. A soldier with his uniform, his helmet and his gun, Shivington's army at Sand Creek. Women and children, and what have they done? They have paved their paradise with money and blood. They have built their greatness on the backs of the dead. And when they stand before the gates of their rival, there will be a price on their head. And I will not celebrate Columbus. No, I will see him deconstructed in the naked light. I will not celebrate Columbus. I will not celebrate until we make things right. Let's take this upside down world and turn it over. Let's make sense of this senselessness. Let's build a house that we can all live in together. Let's clean up this mess. No, I will not celebrate Columbus. I will not celebrate Columbus. No, I will not celebrate Columbus. Columbus. I love playing here because it's just kind of, I don't have a tip jar. Oh, the coal, that's right. I'm just getting paid in coal tonight. Isn't that cool? That's what I like about this place, because you never know how you're going to be paid. I was down here one time and they paid me in grass seeds. In grass seeds, and I don't even have a lawn, but I have neighbors that want lawns, and it made me very popular when I went home. And people stopped stealing from my mailbox and that sort of thing, and that was really good. However you want to do it. I wasn't suggesting passing it, just having it here to, help to mitigate the adverse effects of these hard economic times. But also I get to sit here and play it through a good sound system to friendly people. Usually there's a Buddha on the stage, but he's on the floor now. He doesn't mind. And do you? Was he supposed to get something this year as well? He's always giving. Oh, okay. And then I get to play songs off the top of my head, kind of in whatever order makes sense, and this makes sense to me. Thank you. So this is a song that, anybody heard of Christy Moore? Anybody know who Christy Moore is? You know. Yeah. You know his singing, though, his work. He's a singer. You know his work? Okay. I met Christy Moore in 1979 at the Ballast. Wait a minute. I met him before that, actually. I met him in Belgium, but the same year. Wow, that's right. Those are really fast times. He was with a band called Planksty, which was his group for a while there, and they were playing the same festival I was. And I remember he was experimental with his drinking. He was drinking the cherry beer, and it did not draw me. Cherry beer did not draw me, so I didn't. But he liked it, and he was also smoking Long John Silver's, smoking Long John Silver's and drinking cherry beer. Somehow turned him on. And we made a date to hook up somewhere along the road, and I was going to ride along with him, but it didn't happen for whatever reason. I don't remember what. But I ran into them again in Ireland. And we got to be friends anyway. And this song is on one of his early records. It might just be called Christy Moore. I don't know. It's called The Galtee Mountain Boy, and it's a beautiful thing. It just completely swallowed me. I lived with it in my head for years. And I tried to sing it the way that I thought it should be sung, as indigenous to that landscape and those people. But, I am not of those people in that landscape, so it was artificial for me to try to do that. Try as I may, I could never make it work, and it was always kind of embarrassing. So over time, I anglicized it, I suppose, made it my own, because it needs to be sung. And Christy wrote the last verse. It's a short song. It's only got 4 verses. I guess when he got a hold of it, it only had 3. And it's weird because I guess I could see the song getting sung around as a piece of history. But without that last verse, it isn't really a song that you could sing. It just isn't. So he made it one, and that's something. It goes like this, at least how I do it. Flying column in 1916 in Cork with Sean Mylan, to Tipperary went Dan Green. I'm arrested by Free State, and I'm sentenced to die.
Tipperary, said the lofty mountain boy. We went across the valleys and over the hilltops green, where we met with Danny Lacey, Sean Hogan and Dan Breen. Sean Milan and his gallant men, they kept the flag flying high. Farewell to Tipperary, said the Galty mountain boy. We tracked the Wicklow Mountains, we were rebels on the run. And though hunted night and morning, we were outlaws but free men. We tried the Dublin Mountains when the sun was shining high. Farewell to Tipperary, said the Galty mountain boy. Now I'll bid farewell to old Clonmel that I never more will see, and to the Galty mountains that oft times sheltered me. Those are ones who fought for their liberty and who died without a sigh. May the cause be ne'er forgotten, said the Galty mountain boy.
Yeah. It's a good one. Yeah, the tune a little bit. Anybody see that movie called Redacted? Yeah, that was a good one. I liked that one. You see it? You see it? Anybody hear of Riverbend? You know who Riverbend was? Riverbend. She was an Iraqi college student, English educated. Well, she spoke English and wrote English very well, but she was a university student. And she was in Baghdad. She lived in Baghdad, born and raised. And she blogged under the name of Riverbend. And her blogs were so good that they were published in 2 separate books, Riverbend 1 and I guess Riverbend 2 or something like that. And she wrote about the incident that the movie Redacted is about. It was these American soldiers who were getting drunk one night around a card game and decided that they were going to go rape this 14-year-old girl. And they couldn't leave any witnesses, so they killed the family. They raped her, killed the family, then they killed her. And then I think they set fire to the building so that it would just look like casualties of war or whatever. And then they went back to the base and they cooked up chicken wings. And they had chicken wings. And they just kind of went on with their lives. To hear Riverbend talk about it is very interesting because she talks about it and then she talks about what rape actually means in that culture. And then she goes on to say, she says, you know, I used to feel sorry for the American soldiers, for the GIs. I watch them walking through the streets in 130 degrees, so far from home and all that. I don't feel sorry for them anymore. I don't care. I really don't care. Whatever happens to them happens. I'm sorry. They may have loved ones at home. We have loved ones here. And it was very interesting to read her say that. And I remember thinking that every American should read that. and they should reread it until they understand what it's like to be on the other end of what we do. I just came home with a head full of pictures and I can't say. They wake me up screaming in the middle of the night and make them go away. And I might start drinking and I might not stop. I might cross over that line. I just want to get drunk and stay that way all the time. With a head full of pictures and you don't want to know. Hanging in the air right in front of my face everywhere I go. And I might start open and I might not stop. I might cross over that line. I just want to get numb and stay that way all the time. Nobody should have pictures in the head like I do. Nobody should have pictures in the head like me. Giving back to the people that wanted this war. I don't want to see them anymore. Living my life with a head full of pictures from now on. And I can't make love to the world anymore cause they're too strong. And I might get crazy and I might not stop. I might cross over that line and I might do something I might regret sometime. Who gave me this head full of pictures? Well, I think I know. Some big shot sitting in a padded chair where the money's on the floor. And I might start thinking and I might get smart. I might cross over that line and I might do something about it sometime. Nobody should have pictures in the head like I do. Nobody should have pictures in the head like me. Giving back to the people that wanted this war. I don't want to see him anymore. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. Back to Palo Alto. I used to take like 5 or 6 hits of mescaline all at the same time. Wander around the hills of Stanford, the halls of Stanford, sorry, University. I remember going to the library once, which was in this, they had this part of the library that led up to the rare book room. It was like the cabinet of Dr. Caligari. I mean, it was just no straight lines, weird color schemes. It was old. It was a very old building. And I I was convinced under my altered state that if I got this book, there was a particular old book that I wanted, and if I could get that old book and hold it up to my forehead, I could suck it into my brain. I was convinced. And so I talked to the curator about this book, and he looked at me, and my eyes must have looked like hubcaps. They must have. I mean, there was no way that they could not have looked like hubcaps. And he was in charge of very rare, one-of-a-kind books, and he actually went and got it for me, brought it to me, and left me alone with it, which to this day is inexplicable to me. I mean, but, it was fine. Nothing happened, but, the shape of me. And I put that thing up to my forehead, and I held it there, for the longest time, and nothing happened, and I left. But I bring that up because one of the people that I hung out with at Stanford a couple of times was Chris Ramey. This is a song about Chris Ramey. And when I say this guitar, I mean that guitar. It's my other guitar, not this one. It's another one. This guitar, we've been friends for years and came this far, living in a world of folk clubs and bars, songs for every season, and we sang them on the steel string guitar. Chris Ramey was a big man, and he sang a big song, and in my younger days I tagged along. He had a big life, he lived it right out loud, head and shoulders over everybody in the crowd. He rode with the pranksters, he knew Neil Cassidy too. Janis Joplin lit a candle for him in an almost rendezvous. Jesse Fuller, Margot St. James, everybody knew Chris Ramey, and he knew them all the same, all the same. He could drink you under the table, he could trip you over the moon, he could tell more tales than a Carney Barker on a Saturday afternoon. Heart of gold, it was golden to the core. He'd give her the shirt off his back, and if he needed a bed, he'd sleep on the floor. Yes, he would. Now I lost track of Ramey. He lost track of me. Then I heard he was selling cars down in the valley. His guitar was in the closet. Strings were old and dead, but he still had all those songs in his head. Hey, Chris, I don't know about these cars, but guitar strings call for fingers, and your fingers need guitars. And these kids out there nowadays, well, they seem so young, they need a master like you to show them how it's done, Then the rust was dusted off, magic came alive, and the songs woke up like a sleeper on the rebound. One tangential dream, Chris Ramey was back on the scene, He got himself a good set of wheels from that used car lot. He put a PA in the trunk and he went out gigging while the gigging was hot. He got a brand new repertoire, fine sight to see, and with his harmonica buddy Jimmy Durance, he made his first CD. Yes, he did. And the music was alive. He was living in the zone, and he loved those old Gibsons and Epiphones. He knew I did too. It was almost biology, so whenever he found a good one, he'd show it to me. He'd show it to me. Life catches up with you, no matter how fast you drive, and they say that nobody gets out of here alive. Songs to come in singing with, songs to fly away, and he knew he'd have to sing one of those other ones someday. Chris Ramey gave me this guitar. He knew the time was near, he said, go pick the one that speaks to you, Jim, and get it out of here. So I took this old slope shoulder. The sunburst top, it made bells beneath my fingers, and it would not let me stop, let me stop. So sing a song for laughter, sing a song for tears, sing a song for old friends who've known you all these years. Sing a song for leaving, another one for when you're gone. For life is just a melody, waiting for a song, for a song. Yeah, he'd like that song, I think, if he was around. And he was around, kind of. He was kind of heavy. I'm going to need some more coffee here in a little while. And I would take that shot in the dark, actually, because I'm a little bit... He's got a glowing stomach. Are you pregnant, Mr. Claus? That's not a stomach. That's a... What is that? That's your stomach. You have an external stomach. I have an external hard drive. He has an external stomach. That was before computers. People stored their information in their stomachs. And when you got too much information, you got an external stomach. A bladder of sorts. Like a hot water bottle, kind of. Is that so you can't lose it? He told you to hurry up? When your doctor tells you to lose weight, he means hurry up. Get it? Losing weight. Oh, that's nice. I always wanted, you know what a color organ is, right? It changes color according to the sound. Okay, color organ. I always wanted an electric guitar that the solid body of it was a color organ. So that when I played it, it would be, but I mean, when you think about it, that would be completely stupid, because if you actually played it of anything of any velocity, it'd be changing colors so fast, it would be stupid. It would actually be kind of stupid. You know, I mean, it was a nice idea when I was a kid, but then after a while, it's like, okay, that would be kind of dumb. We're talking now. We are talking now. What is this? We should talk. A friend of mine said that to another friend of mine one day down in Boulder, Colorado. Came up and I introduced him. He said, I'd like to talk to you sometime. And then he walked off. I said, he was right there. You could have talked to him right now, but he walked off. Life is like that, you know. Merchandise. Okay, we'll get to that. We will. That's what Santa's for. That's what Santa's for. Sorry? I don't want to be rich? I don't know. One percenter. Damn right. Yeah, I want to have power and wealth, and I want to live in a big, dark, gloomy old castle overlooking a valley down below where thousands are slaving for my benefit. That's what I want. I want to pay them next to nothing, and every once in a while go out in the parapet and shoot a few of them if they start to rebel or feel the least bit uncomfortable about their situation. That's what I'd really like to do. Okay. Yeah, there's always a song in there. They say the world is turned upside down. And it's a nice metaphor. And I was sitting around at one night. I may have been in a slightly altered state. I don't know. Every state is altered. But I was looking at an architecture book. And there was a picture of a castle in the mountains of, I don't know, in the Alps or something, or the Carpathians. And the castle was up on top of this mountain peak. And I'm just looking at it there and I'm thinking, Lord so-and-so lives up there in that mountain, in that castle. And he controls all those people down below. He lives there with his guards, his gun turrets, his moat, and he controls all those people down below. And I kept looking at it, and then I thought to myself, if he controls all those people down below, what does he need gun turrets for? What does he need a moat for? What does he need soldiers for? And then I started to think that if the world is turned upside down, and it is, turn that picture upside down, and you realize that actually those people down below control Lord so-and-so. They keep him where he is. They pay him the duties. They give him the honor and the respect, and they call him by his given title or his seized title, and they keep him there. And every once in a while, because they're, for argument's sake, let's say there are 3,000 of them, there's one of him. For argument's sake, every once in a while, some Malcolm X guy comes along, or some weird Santa guy with an external hard drive comes along, and he begins to foment disrespect amongst the population. And they start to agitate. And when word of that gets up to Lord so-and-so sends his soldiers down in the valley below, and they'll shoot somebody. And they might have to shoot 3 or 4 people, but it usually doesn't take very many. Then the fear spreads, because nobody wants bloodshed. Nobody wants to lose their children in a school shooting or whatever it is. So you stop, and it goes back to normal, and Lord so-and-so is back in his castle. And again, it looks like he controls them. Actually, they control him. And furthermore, if you take that picture and turn it upside down, so you see it actually, rather than a pyramid with a big solid base on the bottom, it's actually now a pyramid sitting on its head. It's very, very unstable. Now you see that it's really, really unstable. And if those people, which are us, those 99%, whatever you want to call them, start to move around too much, it'll fall right over. We have to stay perfectly in our place in order to keep the balance so it doesn't fall over, because it's really unstable. This is a song about how the world got turned right side up for a couple of days. November 30th, 99, history walking out a tightrope line, big money pulling on invisible strings, getting into everything so deep. It's hard to believe it's in the food and the water and the air you breathe, the chemistry, the biotech, the banker with the bottomless check, the corporations and the CEOs, and the bottom line as the profit grows, the money talks, you don't talk back, you don't like it when you act like that, but didn't we shut it down, didn't we? November 30th, 99, Tuesday morning when we drew the line, WTO was coming to town and we swore we're gonna shut it down, and they stood there with their big police. They had a National Guard out to keep the peace, with the guns and the clubs and the chemical gas, but still we would not let them pass. They raged and roared and their tempers flared, and there were bombs bursting in the daylight air, and they'd run us off to us in, but we came right back again, yeah, didn't we? Shut it down, didn't we?
1,000 out there. There were farmers, unions, rank and file. Every grassroots has its own style. There were great big puppets 2 stories tall. There were drummers drumming in the shopping mall. There were so many people that you couldn't see how that many people got into the city, and the WTO delegates too. But we were locked down so they couldn't get through, didn't we? Shut it down, didn't we? November 30th, 99. Locked down at the police line, and they hitting you with everything they got. You ain't moving like it or not. They're tying your wrist with plastic cuffs, and they're loading you up on a great big bus, and they're taking you down to the Navy base. Pepper spraying you right in the face, try to break you down, trying to get you to kneel. But you got the unity, and this is for real, and they can't break a spirit that's coming alive. And that's the kind of spirit that's bound to survive, didn't we? Shut it down, didn't we? Talking out a whole lot of trash about the violence of the people in black, and how the cops are so tired they just had to attack. And the secret's hidden in that deep dark hole of what they call City Hall may never be told. The mayor's out doing the spin. Police chief quit, so you can't ask him. I can swear to God and all human law, but I was there and I know what I saw. Visible stains will wash away in the rains, but this old town will never be the same. Shut it down, didn't we? Oh, it's the greatest story ever told. David and Goliath, how you be so bold, standing up to the giant when the going gets hot, and all you got is a slingshot. They tell me that the world turned upside down. You gotta pick it up and shake it, gotta turn it around, take it apart to rearrange it. I don't wanna save the world, I wanna change it. Don't let them tell you that it can't be done, cause they're gonna be the first ones to run. Just take a little lesson from Seattle town, WTO and how we shut it down. Shut it down, didn't we? November 30th, 99. Oh, it had its moments. It's a long ass song. Yeah? Oh no. We're gonna have to talk about that, Santa. You might owe me more than a boat. Microsoft should come up with, they've got the tablet. How about the pillow? The pillow. The touch pillow computer. People that can't stop computing can now sleep with it.
are not right.
When I go by Baltimore, need no carpet on my floor. Come along, go with me, we'll go see what we can see. Green Monkey Road, promenade in green. Who do you love? Who do you love? See that bird up in the sky. Wonder how she could get so high. She don't walk, she don't run, but she just flies until her traveling's done. Green Monkey Road, promenade in green. Who do you love? Who do you love? So when I go by Baltimore, need no carpet on my floor. Come along, go with me, we'll go see what we can see. Green Monkey Road, promenade in green. Who do you love? Who do you love? I love the way that the rain sounds on the rooftop over my head like little animal feet. The way the clouds come down so low, they seem to prowl around the alleyways and get into the side streets. And all the world goes soft, and the hard lines disappear, and the echo of the footsteps, oh, that's the music in your ear. And the sing-song river runs all along that little crack. I've been all around, baby, and I keep coming back. Now the big boats come to the dockside to tie off and unload, and they stay a little while. You got a bright light Saturday, Liberty night, you gotta do it upright, you gotta do it in style. Style. Maybe hear a little music. Can I have this next dance? Maybe fall in love if I could have a chance. With somebody like you. Imagine that. I've been all around the world and I keep coming back. I ain't got no money. Said, that's all right, friend, just get on board. Lay your burden down. He said, where you going? I said, I have no idea. This looks pretty good, I'll get off here. And I went off a-walking with my guitar across my back. I've been all around the world and I keep on coming back. Well, I rode that Fremont Bridge so high one time I could have scratched old Mr. Moon right in the chin. I took a look at the water in the canal down below and I thought to myself, I'm gonna dive right in. Yeah, but I'm too young to go that way, and I ain't ready yet. I don't mind falling that far, I just don't want to get that wet. It's a carnival of circumstance. You have to have a knack. I've been all around the world and I keep coming back. I thought that was pretty darn good. I really did. I thought that was. Thank you. Thank you. I knew someone would agree with me if I persevered long enough. I'd love another cup of coffee if you can manage that from back there. A shot in the dark, please, because I'm a little tired. Jason, thank you. Oh, I know what I want to do. Yeah. I love this song. Some songs just speak to you. This is for Shaney. I don't know why. It just kind of is. Wait a minute. It's got to sound right or it'll sound wrong. Wake up, mama. Don't you sleep so hard. Wake up, mama. Don't you sleep so hard. Don't you hear these blues walking all over your yard? I got these blues. I'm not satisfied. I got these blues all right, yes I do. I'm not satisfied. Well, that's the reason why I just drove away and I cried. Blues grabbed me at midnight, wouldn't turn me loose till day. Grab me at midnight, wouldn't turn me loose till day. I didn't have nobody drive these blues big star falling. Mama ain't long before day. Big star falling, there it is now. Ain't long before day. Maybe the sunshine this time. Drive these blues away.
I mean, we were talking before, but now we're talking. This is a song for Santa Claus. Come on now.
Well, there's something, darling, I want to tell you. Go down where you've been doing. That'll never do. Someday, baby, you ain't gonna worry my life anymore. You've been on my mind every Yes, when I was young, you know I wouldn't be here today with this marriage run. Someday, baby, you ain't gonna worry my life something, darling, I want to tell you. Go down the way you've been doing, that'll never do. Someday, baby, you ain't gonna worry my life anymore. Yeah, but someday,
my picks keep getting caught together right there when I do the double thing. They get caught right in there. Well, I don't know how it even happens, but it goes. I know. It goes like that. It's fucking weird. You can derail the whole song. Whatever. Oh, no. They all have, you know, they all have their thing. No, they're not wearing out. It's just you just have to watch how you do it. Yeah, all the time. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, when you pick them together, really close together. See, the picks I use, they're not solid. It's a ring of metal. Let's see if I can show you here. There. See, it's like a ring of metal. So my finger pad shows. That ring actually can catch in there. Boom. And then you're screwed. And that happened to me twice in that song. Oops. And so I have to pull them apart while I'm playing. Can be a little weird. I have. Well, that's a real pain in the ass. The other parts I can deal with, but that's worse than stepping on chewing gum. Shane, you're not leaving, are you? Resting in the use room. I learned this song from a record from the New Lost City Ramblers, who I understand was the inspiration for Uncle John's band. That was a song about the New Lost City Ramblers, which is very cool. And I think they played this on the banjo. I can't remember, but I discovered that if I did it in this position, I could actually get the melody the way what they did, which just makes the song. And it's a great song anyway, but actually makes it. I could get it on the guitar. Traveled all around, every place I see a deck of cards, I lay my money down.
many more weeks than 3 when I fell in love with a pretty little girl, and she fell in love with me. Took me to her parlor, rolled me with her fan, whispered low in her mother's ear, love the gambling man, love the gambling man, love the gambling man. Well, she whispered low in her mother's ear, love the gambling man. How can you treat me so to leave you, dear old mother, with the gambling fool? Mother, oh dear mother, you know I love you well, but the love I have for the gambling man, no human tongue can tell. Human tongue can tell. Human tongue can tell. Yes, the love I have for the gambling man, no human tongue can tell. Gamble up in Maine, I'm going back to Georgia to gamble my last game. Gamble my last game. Gamble my last game. Yes, I'm going back to Georgia to gamble my last game. Oh, 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 oh. Touchdown. No, I don't understand. That was yesterday. No, the world would have ended. There would have been no dark age. There would have been no world. I couldn't go outside. I was so terrified. Huh? Of hearing an end of the world joke? Say that again? I missed it. Yeah, I do, but it's not horrible. It's just that I can't afford to start laughing at it now because I won't be able to finish my set. You know, the laughter will take over. It'll just be, you know. So I have to put it off. Sorry? This one right here. I'm going to start all over again. They tell me there's gold at the end of the rainbow. Just follow the current, you'll get there someday. That rainbow, there's ain't got all the colors. So I turn around and I go away. And I'm swimming upstream like a fish in the water. memories filled with historical norms that made us all look like fools. I'm swimming upstream like a fish in the water. I am swimming upstream like a fish in the water. Up and be happily dosed like a good little drone on a sleeping my dream. But however you live is however you die. So I guess I'll just keep swimming upstream. I'm swimming upstream like a fish in the water. I am swimming upstream like a fish in the water. I'm swimming upstream like a fish in the water. Swimming upstream like a fish in the water, like a fish in the water. That's the problem, see. That's why I'm swimming upstream. Jason likes this song. He'll be back. I can tune to that because that's a tuner. Boy, that doesn't help at all. Looks good. Well, I want to do this song for Jason, but he's out of the room, so I'll do this other song first. Written by a friend of mine named Joe Packman. He used to sit outside of City Hall, crack a couple of beers and pray for peace. One time he hitchhiked to Washington, D.C., join in on the march against the war. He used to tell me all the time about the times that they'd let him stand at ease. Till then he'll keep on, crack another beer and pray for peace. One time he walked to Sacramento to show his dirty feet to Governor Ron. Next morning he woke up face down in the desert with next to nothing on. But he'd always shake it off, sing a song to soothe his savage beast. Then he'd wind up in some dive, bum another beer and pray for peace. And the way it is the way it was again. The way it was the way it is again. Nothing's changed except those boys and men, at least the ones that live. See the way it is again. So now he's back outside of City Hall, chained to a bench with his old sign. Bill says I am a Vietnam veteran, and my battle cry is no more children dying. And he knows his final breath will be the only thing to bring his soul to ease. Till then he'll keep on keeping on, crack another beer and pray for peace. And the way it is the way it was back then. The way it was the way it is again. Nothing's changed except those boys and men, at least the ones that live, see the way it is again.
Now, this song works if you don't explain it, and it works if you do explain it. So, I don't know. I'll just say that it's about Rachel Corrie, and it's based on letters that she wrote home to her parents.
No, I was always the one. I could never stand idly by to watch while the bullies beat up on the weak ones. I had to do something to try, and I never gave up on people. That we could be better somehow. Morality's compass, you gave it to me, and I still follow it now. Well, I couldn't stop thinking about it. No, I couldn't get it out of my mind. The pictures, the stories, the plight of the people in occupied Palestine. How my government makes me complicit with the political aid that they send. So I packed up my bags and I headed to Rafah to work with the ISM. And I'd rather be dancing and falling in love. But if I can just watch from a distance, and what am I made of? Mama, these people are so good to me. They treat me like I'm one of their own. They feed me and see to my needs. They let me sleep in their homes. Papa, their lives are so hard. The gunshots every night. Roadblocks, strip searches, humiliations, Papa, it just isn't right. Well, I can feel my privilege. It's there in my American face. I could wave my passport around like a flag, and I would be safe in this place. For these child soldiers of Israel, they look like the boys back home. If it wasn't for American money, they'd have to leave these people alone. And I'd rather be dancing to Pat Benatar. Oh, but somebody has to do something about it. And here we are. Tractors are coming today. They're like tanks with bulldozer blades. The name on the side says Caterpillar, and that means they're American made. Well, I am American too, and I'll be where everybody can see. So if they want to run over those houses today, they're gonna have to run over me. Well, it's dangerous taking a stand, but it's dangerous running away. Sometimes you have to face up to the danger. There is just no other way. For there are such beautiful dreams I have seen in the eyes of a child. If I can just make one little difference, then I think my life is worthwhile. And I'd rather be dancing. Instead I'm saying goodbye. We'll meet again when it's over, don't cry. And I'd rather be dancing. Surely we'd all rather be. Someday we'll dance in the world that's peaceful and free. She was the pride of her hometown, and her dreams came true like dreams will do when they don't let you down. She had a true love, as true as love will be, and their lifelines are intertwined for all the world to see. Now there's a hole in the air when the wind blows through, hole in the air and it looks like you. Nobody knows where you go when you go way out there, way out there, to a hole in the air. Timeless then. And the seasons passed through window glass, and they became best friends, and planets rolled around a great revolving wheel. Remember love, that kind of love is something to reveal. There's a hole in the air where the wind blows through, hole in the air and it looks like you. Nobody knows where you go when you go way out there, way out there, to a hole in the air. Oh, and if I was a rain know where I had gone, but you would never find me. And we sing to tell a tale, remembering the things we bring along the crooked trail, stumbling brilliantly, unnecessary fools. The diamonds and the tears, they all look like jewels. The hole in the air and the wind blows through, hole in the air and it looks like you. Nobody knows where you go when you go way out there, way out there, to a hole in the air. In the air where the wind blows through, hole in the air and it looks like you. Nobody knows where you go when you go way out there, way out there, hole in the air. That's right. Things just work that way sometimes. I like this song. I don't sing it all that much.
up at this gig. He lives close by, at least he did. I don't know why he doesn't anymore. Right. But if you're a real bike rider, that does not hold you back. We don't need any more ghost fighters. I'd love to ride over the Cascades. Hill. I just finished reading this book called It's All About the Bike. Who's this guy's name? Robert Penn. That's right. And he rode around the world, 25,000 miles. And he rode up over the, I think it was the Khyber Pass. I can't remember, on the Silk Road or something like that. Anyway, up over those mountains, and it was 7 days uphill. That would be fabulous, man. I love riding uphill. I just love it. And 7 days. I'm not sure. That would take a while to get used to. He said the last day was like, you know, standing on the pedals and pulling down on the bars. Oh, man. I'm assuming he got those 7 days downhill near the side. Downhill scares me, though. That scares me. You know, because if the worst that can happen when you're going uphill is, you know, you have to stop, pull over or something, or maybe your foot slips on the pedal or something. But downhill, you could die. Anyway. If I could face the day the way the sunlight does, if I could rise with the morning mist, that I would know the way that the waterfish swims, I could hold the lessons in my fist. We are dying, say the elders, and we don't even know this is only a temporary peace. We're only waiting for the outcome to show and the endings to be released. Behind the silence of a great storm, howling of a new wilderness, beyond the distance of a great stone wall. It will change, it will change. It wasn't always like this. I've been to places where the clocks don't tick and they laugh at the hard straight line. History looks through a baby's eyes, and the light of the future is a good sign. Some laws are made of barbed wire, and they lean to the privileged few. But reality shoots from behind a blade of grass, and its aim is true. Behind the silence of a great stone wall, the howling of a new wilderness, beyond the distance of a great stone wall, it will change. Change. It wasn't always like this. There's a warfare fought in the bloodstream now, and truth is a thing to be praised. The lie gets mean and it hides in the marrow, and it waits for the stakes to be raised. And the dry rattle breath of the exit time is a wake-up call to your ear. But the feel of a fist at the end of your arm is the answer to your tears. Behind the silence of a great stone wall, the howling of a new wilderness, beyond the distance of a great stone wall, it will change, it will change.
tell me that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes I think I see it. Like the dissident glint in the eye of a needle or the glitter of a soul set free. There's a song that they sing in the worst of times to lift your spirit on the wings and fly. Way on the other side of that storm cloud wall, dancing in a clear blue sky. Behind the silence of a great storm, the howling of a new wilderness. Beyond the distance of a great storm, it will change, it will change. It wasn't always like this. I'm going to do a couple more songs. Is that all right? Anybody know what time it is? I think it's probably like... Sorry? 8:05. Jesus Christ, I've just started. That is phenomenal. How did that happen? Dan. Okay, so it happened, didn't it? It did, just like they said, just like the Mayans knew that it would. God damn it. Lump charcoal. Somehow that looks insulting. Lump. That's a good name. That's one of my favorite. My favorite word is blimp. Yeah, say it slowly and feel it as you say it. Blimp. That's a great word, man. I love that word. Lump is close, but blimp is hard to beat. No. No, that has no. Just because you can get up and down chimneys doesn't mean you can pronounce. This song is going to screw everything up because it's a little bit more complicated. Okay, it actually is. Oh, the sun goes up and the sun goes down, and all the minute planets are spinning around, hanging on to a little green piece of ground. Everything is round. All around the lost and found, tubular bells make a tubular sound, and the rolling balls that go rolling around. Everything is round. You can fantasize a straight line, you can try it if you may, but I guarantee that straight line is gonna turn around someday. Everything is round. Drum and everybody waiting on the kingdom come. Well, every other kingdom just comes undone. Everything is round. Starting from the Mother Earth, learning what a circle's worth, returning to the place of birth. Everything is round. You can calculate the answer, you can call it MC squared. But if space and time are truly curved, there are no squares out there. Everything is round. convoluted evolution, revolving every revolution and everything is round. Everything is round. Everything is round. Everything. Shady go my true love, shady go my darling, shady go my true love, I'm going back to Harlem. Oh, I wish I had a big white horse, shoulders deep and wide, Shady Grove along with me around the world we ride. Yeah, Shady Grove, my true love, Shady Grove, my darling, Shady Grove, my true love, I'm going back to Well, it's apples in the summertime, peaches in the fall. If I can have my Shady Grove, I won't run it all. Shady Grove, my true love, Shady Grove, my darling, Shady Grove, my true love, I'm going back to Harlem. Turn your stomach back on. Come on, turn it back on.
does change colors, doesn't it? Is that the friendlier sort of? Now it's getting kind of thoughtful and dark. Now it's like laughing almost, kind of. It's going to get angry here in a second. No, now it's back to the kind of the friendly sort of, ooh, there's a bit of anger. Oh, man. Indigestion probably is what that is. You know? Indigestion. Yeah, whatever it is, yeah. Well, I don't feel like it. Yeah. Doesn't do anything to me. I want to thank you. I want to do one more song. I want to think for a second here. Minong? What did you say? Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I thought you kind of swallowed it or something. Or my ears swallowed it. That's a Pink Floyd song, I think, isn't it? Is that Pink Floyd? It's not Pink Floyd? Drunk. He was really, really late. Did he have a big red nose? And a sleigh? Did he ride around in a sleigh? Yeah, they ride in sleighs in California. See? Yeah. Okay, then that'll be 2 songs. I'll do 2 songs. Is it 8:10 already? Damn, that's way past my bedtime. I'll do 2 more songs. But you got to remember my tip jar. That's awfully. It just, I mean, God damn, it cost me like 4 times that much just to get here. I mean, when you think of the price of gas, insurance, you know? And I broke down. I broke down twice. Twice. Once on the West Seattle Bridge, I had to get towed, you know, and I had to get the engine completely rebuilt. I mean, I left earlier today to get here because it's a long, you know, and that costs money. And then I broke down in Bellevue over there. The rear end fell off, and they had to put it back on, and they take me into the Bellevue Honda dealership there. And you know how Bellevue is expensive, so it's a lot of money. So all I'm saying is that, you know. I'll tell you a story, my friend. From the Vietnam days way back when body counts a mountain on the wall. You had to do something about it. When the singer took the trip up to Washington State, it was a good day to travel on the interstate. 2 hitchhikers, all of 19, traveling real light with their heads shaved clean. Singer picked him up, he had room in the car. He says, I'll take you where you're going if it's not too far. We're going up to Canada, they said it kind of slow. Seems like the place to go. Well, you can trust a stranger if you give him a chance, and there's a million stories in a sideways glance. The singer knew he had a long-range view. I'm only going to Seattle, he said, but I'll see what I can do. It's a long, straight, blacktop line. You can do a lot of thinking while the time unwinds. Leaving California for the evergreen land. Pretty soon the singer had a plan. Stopping for supplies like anybody might do. Get a map and a compass and a flashlight too. Canteens for water. Fruit enough to last. Going on to Seattle for the drive ride. Almost to the border, take the side road to the hill. Here's your map and your compass and a $20 bill. Canada's that way, it's a straight shot. Good luck and goodbye, don't get caught.
singer drove away in a darkening breeze, and two shadows disappeared in the evergreen trees. And that's a measure of a war. Try to tip the balance just a little bit more. There when the singer came in late, muttering some about the interstate. The songs were good and the music was fine, and that's what kept us going most of the time. And that's the end of my story, my friend, from the Vietnam days way back when, about a singer on the road and the AWOL kid, how you had to do something, and that's what they did. Okay, so one more song. Thank you very, very much. This is actually a good song to end with. In the valley of the butterfly, time doesn't go very fast. Things just seem to last. You know, I saw a butterfly dance like a butterfly does. It made me think about how clumsy I was. You know, I saw a man on a bicycle balancing the load of wood. His balance was that good. You know, I saw a family of 5 on a motor scooter going out for a drive. There was a temple on the hillside. I prayed to the Buddha for the flower to open up wide. You may know, I drank the good strong ginger tea, and it agreed with me. You may know, everything grew, tomato and a pepper and a beetle nut too. You may know, I ate the green grass, the fish and the squid. Was a melon so sweet and juicy on my sweater, something like ricochet, wing way up in the trees. And man, on my spirit got lighter and my head got clear. I thought to myself, I'm gonna stay right here and man, on. And it's a big round world. Yes, it is all around the world, all around the world. It's a big round world, all around the world. All around the circle, eternity flows. But after a while, you gotta go, I suppose. And you know, everybody's got a home, and I got mine. Don't say goodbye, say see you next time, you know. And it's a big round world. Yes, it is, all around the world. It's a big round world. Yes, it is, all around the world. Yes, it is all around the world. It's a big round world, all around the world.
Well, I had a good time. Thanks. Don't forget all those car repairs now. I talked about it. I don't think I said. Oh, you're talking about the WTO song. Yeah. It's on an album which is out of print right now. Yeah, that's a big drag, I know. Thanks. That was Artist, not me. Artist was doing that. Artist, the Spoon Man was doing that. Yeah, it's a very cool little. No, it's a very cool little piece he does. It's a spoken thing. Help me from the police. Help me from the police. Yeah. Yeah, I don't do it. It's his thing. Yeah. That's a cool. You've heard that, haven't you? Help me from the police. Yeah. Help me from the police. I know, it's good. I like it. Every time I get a box that's big enough.